I don't even know how to fucking start this. I made a video last night about something I saw, a couple protesters, peaceful protesters, getting trampled by RCMP. Short video, and that it was saying fuck Trudeau or something like that. Still on there, and that footage has been pulled off Facebook many times, but it's still there, and it made it all the way to Fox News. Now, I'm not a big fucking fan of Fox News or even the dude about the play talking about it, because do I think he actually fucking cares about what he's talking about, or is he just happy he's got one of the biggest stories and he's gonna get a bunch of hits on YouTube and all this shit, and he just reports whatever fucking gets him the most, or whatever supports his political agenda, and if it's opposed, for or against, you know, he's just gonna have a field day with it. So I'm not playing this because I like Fox News. I can't stand any media. Well, can't stand. It's kind of, I haven't watched news since even before I got into spirituality, because it's always fucking dark. Now, this is before all these dark times we're in right now. Now, the actual title of this is A Dark Day in Canada or something like that. Trucker protest, dark day in Canada. And it's fucking dark. It is fucking dark. I can't believe how terrible things are going and people are being treated in Ottawa. What the cops are doing. If you end up being a trucker who's getting arrested and you have a pet with you, they're gonna fucking put your pet down. They're gonna euthanize it, basically kill your animal if you get arrested. So it's a tactic to get them out of there, but I wouldn't put it past them, because the shit you're about to see is pretty fucking dark and fucking brutal. They fucking broke fucking windows of the truckers that were in their trucks, okay? And, you know, pulled them out, kneed a bunch of them in the fucking face. Some of these people have kids there. What are they gonna do when they arrest the fucking parents? They're gonna fucking put down the kids? And this used to be one of our rights, okay? So all these people went there on the pretense that we have the right to peaceful assembly. You know, we can do this protest as long as no one's being hurt. Obviously, there was some stupid shit that happened, and they used that to blow everything up. Now, literally, as far as I know, now who the fuck knows? I'm not there. But the main things that the different media outlets that were opposed to this, versus looks like Fox News is for the protests. But anyways, the opposite side of the spectrum was only basically going about Nazi. The guy with the Nazi fucking thing, the guy with the Confederate flag, people desecrating the fucking statue of Terry Fox and a different war memorial statue. And then they're fucking stealing food from the homeless and doing a bunch of shit. And then if you actually look into every one of those things, which I did, because I mean, you know, like I said, I was gonna make a video about this, and now I guess I have to. When I looked into every one of those fucking things, the truckers started barbecuing and actually feeding the homeless. They didn't steal their fucking food, okay? Like I said, there's a big homeless population there. So a couple homeless people pretending to be on the trucker side and doing stupid shit doesn't mean the truckers are doing that, okay? And then they put out a reward for anybody who finds out who had the Confederate flag and the Nazi symbolism on them. They put out a reward if anybody knows anything, information, who they were, to get them off of there so they're not blamed for it. They cleaned up the statue. The truckers cleaned up the statue because someone dressed it up and was dancing on it and all that. And after that got to the media and they found out about it, they kept people guarding there on different rotations, making sure no one does that, and they cleaned the whole fucking thing up. So those are a bunch of different points that were used to potentially do this state of emergency. Now, the next biggest one is the fact that they're holding the street hostage. So businesses and people can't go to work and they're just shut down and all that. So that's why Trudeau declared this martial law state of fucking emergency and is using the RCMP to trample people, beat people up, and pull them down. I'm going to play this clip. It's long enough, but like I said, I don't support Fox News or even like this fucking guy. But the way he's reporting on it and has the footage, and they're using independent media footage. So anybody who's there's been like over 100 arrests, maybe more now. There's people getting pulled down, reporters, people fucking, you'll see a couple examples of one guy, the cop's giving a warning, if you go over there again, you're going to be arrested. And then another cop comes over like, fuck it, you're getting arrested, and just arrest them. Rebel Media News, this is all the footage that Fox is using, because all the cameras that you'd be able to see this from generally, because there's a live feed on that street in Ottawa and a bunch of different streets where you can watch all the time. They've all been shut down, so you can't watch. They don't want you to see what's going on. So now they're arresting every journalist, every person with a camera, so we don't fucking know what's going on there. And that's fucking dangerous. This is fucking terrible. And all that fucking I shouldn't even say this, but the person with the fucking swastika, you know, a liberal fucking party turning into a fucking dictatorship, fucking into a fucking socialist fucking regime, you know, it's almost disgustingly poetic and fucking accurate. That motherfucker was saying what was about to happen almost, because it's happening. They're seizing their fucking funds. They've taken the truckers' livelihood. They're taking their fucking licenses away. They're spending their licenses. They took all their funding, so they don't have any fucking money. It's fucking terrible. So I'm going to play this clip right now, and then, you know, just so I'm not trying to tell anybody what's going on. I'm not trying to get anybody to support this or not support this. I'm just trying to show people that this is fucking terrible. This is what happens when people just go along with, you know, orders and whatever the case is. Whether you're for or against mandates or for or against vaccines, like I said, 90% of those truckers are actually vaccinated. 70% of my country is only vaccinated. So the majority of the truckers there's more of them that are vaccinated than the actual population of this country. So the rest of people sitting at home doing nothing, a lot of those people are the people that don't want to get vaccinated. Whereas there's a 90% group of people that came together to go there and say, we're all vaccinated, can we please drop these fucking mandates? And then Trudeau, instead of facing them, fucking hid. He closed down the House of Commons, so there's no fucking interaction between the political parties where they can ask him what's going on and have these debates and do what's necessary and make bills. He shut all that down. He's got emergency power. He can control everybody's fucking money at will. It's fucking terrible. It's some straight up fucking the Chancellor in Star Wars having too much power all the fucking time until it becomes the fucking emperor and he organizes the whole fucking society as one fucking thing. It's fucking terrible. But anyways, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not for or against Fox. I think Fox is kind of repulsive. I think most of those media things are repulsive. But nonetheless, what he's talking about here is, and what he's showing here, whether it fits his agenda or not, obviously, you know, and that's the thing with this shit. You're never going to find unbiased. You're either going to find people that are saying all the bad things that Trudeau's doing good, or you're going to find people that are saying, well, everything that Trudeau is doing is bad. And I'm just trying to say, I don't care about fucking for or against. I think what's happening to the Canadian people that are there, that went there on the pretense that they had the right to the freedom of assembly, be able to protest this. Well, once they got there, Trudeau flipped the script, changed the game. Yeah, you don't want to fucking leave? I'm taking away your fucking right under emergency fucking state of emergency act, whatever you want to call it. He used that to take away those rights. So now they went there while they had those rights, and now they're there and they no longer have those rights. So if they don't leave, they can be arrested at will. Their pets can be shot. Their money can be taken. Their license can be taken. They can't drive a truck anymore. They can just do whatever the fuck they want, and they're doing it. And you're going to see that. So here we go. And, you know, another warning, some of this is pretty brutal.
Run with the consent of the governed. Far from it. Justin Trudeau declared martial law. He's given himself the power to end the freedom of assembly. He has seized private bank accounts and crypto wallets. He now reserves the right to control all money in the nation of Canada. Meanwhile, his state broadcaster, the CBC, has been targeting anyone who criticizes him, specifically donors to the truckers protesting vaccine mandates. They're now under attack by state media. Authorities in Ottawa have announced plans to steal the pets of truck drivers and euthanize them if the drivers are, quote, unable to care for their animals as a result of enforcement actions. We're going to kill your dog. In the face of all of that, demonstrators nevertheless remained in Ottawa. That's their legal right under Canada's charter. They were not damaging property. They weren't hurting anyone. They were protesting the obvious tyranny of their government, which again is their right in Canada and the right of any citizen in a free society. In response, this morning, Justin Trudeau ordered a violent crackdown on them. Thousands of police officers in tactical gear marched into Ottawa. If it looks like something out of Belarus, it is, but it's happening right here in North America. When they arrived downtown, the police shattered truckers' windows and dragged the drivers away. They kneed several demonstrators in the head. At one point this afternoon, horses began trampling Canadians as they protested. You're seeing that footage on your screen right now. The horses ran over several demonstrators, including a woman on a mobility scooter. Reportedly, one man had a heart attack in the face of all of this, at least one. Instead of helping, the police stood around him. This kind of violence, sponsored by Justin Trudeau, continued all day. Police repeatedly tackled Canadians, arrested them for the act of protesting, journalists for the act of filming it, on camera. Here's just one example.
This is disgusting! Disgusting! Oh my God!
You're now attacking different
So here's the definition of tyranny. It's oppressing your own citizenry, ignoring the most basic standards of human rights, and then preventing the rest of the world from seeing what you're doing. And that is exactly what Justin Trudeau has done. He's ordered police to target independent media. There aren't many in Canada. They're the only reason we know what's happening there tonight. But that's exactly what Trudeau's forces have been doing. Today, they threatened to throw a Fox News camera crew in jail. A Rebel News reporter was thrown to the ground. Police also arrested the live streamer Zot, someone whose footage we've been using for 2 weeks now. They arrested him while he was recording. Watch this.
I already told you, okay? This is your last warning.
Yeah.
You're not going by here, okay?
Oh, you can't go this.
You're going to be arrested.
Okay.
This is your last warning.
Okay.
On the other side of the road, if you want to film, right here's a police officer. Okay, come by. Okay?
Can I go that way?
You can't go that way unless you then work down that way. You're under arrest.
For what?
Yes, sir.
You're done. You came out of here. Now it's your problem.
So where's our State Department on this? This is our closest ally in the world. Canada is one of our biggest trading partners. We share a border of 5,500 miles with Canada. So what happens in Canada is of deep concern to the U.S. government. Our State Department exists to wag its finger in the faces of foreign governments and lecture them about human rights. But Joe Biden's State Department has said not a word. We called them today to see if they had any reaction at all to the suspension of civil liberties in Canada, and they didn't. They refused to condemn any of it or even comment. So the lawless crackdown you just saw going on in Canada right now will have consequences for all of us, because Trudeau has not just ended freedom of assembly and speech, arresting journalists. As part of his emergency authority, Trudeau also gave himself the power to control all money in Canada, to seize the bank accounts and crypto wallets of private citizens. On what basis? We don't know. He just asserted it. His deputy prime minister has announced those seizures are in progress now. Watch.
The names of both individuals and entities, as well as crypto wallets, have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions, and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen.
So when you imagine tyranny, you imagine people being loaded into some sort of transport to go to a camp. But this is 2022. Tyranny looks a little different now. Tyranny is when they take all your money and you have no power whatsoever. And that's exactly what Trudeau's government is doing to anyone who dissents. They're targeting crypto exchanges. That's where people keep their cryptocurrency. They convert it quickly into cash. Money on those exchanges is no longer safe, defeating the whole point of cryptocurrency. Jesse Powell, the CEO of the crypto exchange Kraken, just wrote that Canada, quote, 100% will force his company to freeze assets without due. If you're worried about it, don't keep your funds with any centralized regulated custodian. We cannot protect you. You almost never hear businesses telling customers, we can't protect you. That's honest. So what are the criteria here? On what basis are Canadian authorities raiding forms and seizing digital currencies? Well, Canada's so-called justice minister explained the criteria the other day. He announced that Canada's government doesn't need a court order in order to take all of your money. Here's the standard. If you've ever supported Donald Trump, then you can lose access to your bank accounts. Your political views will determine whether you have any money at all. Watch.
Well, I think if you are a member of a pro-Trump movement who's donating hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to this kind of thing, then you ought to be worried.
So again, without becoming hysterical about it, we cannot overstate the importance of what we're watching right here. It is a preview. Canada is not the last country in which this will happen, in which a neoliberal government will become a fascist government overnight while smiling and talking about diversity.
All right, so I didn't play the whole fucking thing, but I think that speaks volumes. It's fucking sad. I wasn't crying or anything, but it brought me to fucking tears seeing what's going on to Canadians, what's going on to journalists, what's potentially happening in my country that I've been so proud to be a part of. And I think our people are great people. Like, we have artists that used to always get together whenever there's a tragedy to happen and raise money for it. We have people that stand up for what they believe. I've always thought Canada is one of the best places to live, and I've never second guessed that. Never once. But what's going on today is pretty fucking horrific. Or that was yesterday, in the last few days, and what's going on with this protest. It's horrific. The Prime Minister has stripped these people of their rights. And not only has he done that, he's going to kill their fucking pets if they get arrested. He's getting rid of all the journalists and cameras and anything in there so people can't see what the fuck's going on. He seized all their accounts, and it's not just Bitcoin, it's not just crypto, it's literally their accounts. Any of these truck drivers that they find out who the fuck they are, and it's not hard, they run their fucking plates, and generally there's a paper trail, and it's not hard to figure people out. There's surveillance, there's fucking people are in the system, right? So as soon as he finds out, he's taking all their fucking, they're suspending their licenses to drive truck. So if they leave there, then they can even just do the legal ways. Oh, you have a suspended license. Right. Pull you in and fucking, you know, find a way home, motherfucker, but we're taking your truck. Like, it's fucking, it's dirty as hell and it's terrible. And like I said, previously said, people went there on the pretense that they actually have a right to do this. And then once they're there, their rights got pulled from underneath them. And if it's that easy to do this, then it's fucking it's terrifying. And I'm going to show you something. This is the clip I talked in my last video about how Trudeau was part of the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party was opposing him, saying he's lost control, that he went to a state of emergency without any going through the House of Commons, doing the proper procedure. He just did it on his own, and it's been approved. And they were wondering why and for what reasons and what the fuck's going on. And they're trying to say that he's lost control, and, you know, I guess trying to maybe get him to resign, or maybe they just have questions and they're looking for answers. And whenever he says that the conservative people that were standing on the side of people who had a swastika, a lot of those people from the Conservative Party are Jewish and no people from the Holocaust. That's why I spoke about this in my last video. Well, I'm going to show this clip because it shows a few things, and Trudeau left. So they asked him to apologize. You'll see Trudeau talk 3 times. You'll see one dude get very upset. You'll see one girl who starts it off talking to Trudeau, and they asked him to apologize 3 times. First time he was pretty cordial about it. He got a little upset, but he was pretty cordial. Asked him to apologize, and then he got really upset, and then all of a sudden it gets muted for some reason. And then when it comes back on, you hear one guy in the back, he left. So Trudeau actually left. And I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, but this is where he closed down the House of Commons so that this can't happen anymore. So he doesn't have to be hauled in there and questioned. This is not on TV for people to see. So it's just another way of stopping people from seeing what's really fucking going on. It's fucking terrible. So I know this might be boring and most people don't want to watch this, so it's up to you. You don't have to watch it, but it's fucked up. It'll probably be the last thing I'll play. Once again, I'm not here to fucking speculate and try to find esoteric magic and fucking occult shit and all this. I'm just trying to fucking, I have a platform and I'm just going to use it, and I'm going to put the shit out there for people to fucking see it and make up their own fucking minds. But the more people that know what's going on in Canada right now, the better. I'm in Cornwall. I'm about an hour away from fucking Ottawa, and more lately I've been seeing we've got a presence here in town. We have different cops here right near the border. My last video, I actually put a link in there when, like 12 or 13 years ago, when I got arrested by the RCMP, how they searched my fucking car and used this act to fucking do whatever they want. I asked them if they had a warrant. They said no, and then stupidly I said, well, look for yourself, because I knew I was busted. I knew they were going to do it anyways, but, you know, I probably should have fought a little harder, but I didn't know. Anyways, my face is blurred out, but then I show a picture of me. Anyways, point of all that is, that was in my previous video. But we have RCMP in this town. We have OPP in this town. We have Cornwall Police in this town. We have the Akwesasne cops from the border in this town. We have Border Patrol. We have different contraband task force. We have customs officers. We have a fucking ton of Cornwall, and we have more and more increasingly coming here. Now, Cornwall was obviously one of the places along the 401 and 417 where a lot of truck drivers met to go there. But anyways, increasingly I'm seeing more and more fucking cops around here, mostly OPP, Ontario Provincial Police. But I think that's for the lack of, because we have a RCMP station, a huge one they just built. I was actually working for a concrete place when they were building that, and because I had a criminal record with the RCMP, I wasn't allowed to work there for whatever fucked up reason. You know, they don't want me on the layout because in case I'm some master criminal smuggling cigarettes, for God's sakes. But point is, I think because a lot of RCMP are called the auto right now, the OPP are fucking in my town fucking pick up the slack. Anyways, Courage in Red, I think Courage in Red. Anyways, you'll see it if you go to my last video and you click on the bottom link, I actually say, this is 12 or 13 years ago when I got arrested. You'll see if you want to watch the whole fucking thing. It's all about Cornwall and the contraband and everything going on here. But the point is this is fucking terrible. These people aren't criminals. They aren't people like me who decide to make bad choices and move cigarettes. They're not drinking and driving. They're not damaging anything. The thing they're being accused of is stopping businesses from being able to make money, which is more taxes for the government, which is, you know, it just looks bad for Trudeau, right? So if he doesn't get control of his country, it looks terrible. But these are Canadians. This is his country. So for the people he thinks he's trying to impress by, if I take control of the country, get it all back to normal, give them back the rights and all that, everything will be fine, right? Get the fuck out of here. But it's like, I don't know, the footage and shit that's getting out, and that's why he's trying to stop footage from getting out, so people stop seeing it. Because if he can get this to go away without people knowing what actually fucking happened, you know, their word against ours, then better for him. But it's like, it's fucking terrible. And I don't know anybody, whether you're for or against mandates. I don't know anybody that would watch this and fucking think otherwise, that it's nothing more or nothing less than some totalitarianism, fucking socialist, fucking dictator fucking shit going on. You know, and it's Canada, for God's sakes. You know, we don't have a crazy army because we spend most of our money on our fucking free healthcare. You know, but he's fucking paying all these cops to do this shit. And like I said yesterday, I said whenever I saw that trampling thing happen, when I thought was the worst of it, I said, you know, I don't like RCMP. That was the whole point of me putting that video as a link in there, is to show why I don't like RCMP, that I was actually arrested by RCMP, and, you know, it's my own fault. I did crimes, and their job is to fucking pick me up. Fair enough. I have a grudge against them because I wasn't happy how it all played out, but I got caught fucking 5 times. So, like, I'm the stupid one in that exchange, okay? And so I get the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was an accident, and I felt bad for the officer that may have injured those people. But then after looking at this footage and knowing what they're fucking doing, they're gonna kill fucking animals if their owners get fucking get arrested. And so that means you're gonna intentionally go arrest a fucking truck driver. You're gonna break his fucking window, knee him in the face, pull him out of the fucking car, you knowing he's got a fucking pet, because he's sitting in his fucking truck waiting for Trudeau to fucking change anything. Instead of changing anything, Trudeau puts a state of emergency and says, I'm taking away your fucking rights. You're getting the fuck out of fucking Ottawa, and things will go back to fucking normal. Fuck you and your fucking mandates. It's like, wow, that's our fucking country now. And, you know, the Fox News guy's saying, and I'm not saying it, I hope to God that other countries don't see this and think, you know, this is what we should do too. Hopefully they see this and like, wow, that's a fucking appalling. Maybe we should go help Canadians out. That would be the cool thing. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but that would be the cool thing. But most people are going to jump to the conclusion like, well, if they can get away with it in Canada, why wouldn't they do it here? If it's fine, you know? And if our right to protest when things are going wrong, or when we think things are wrong, whether you agree with the mandate thing or not, that's besides the point. What's going on in Ottawa right now, I think is fucking wrong. But what can I do? So I start a fucking protest here? Because then it's just still a state of emergency, and I'm just going to get fucking trampled on, beat the fuck up, and fucking shot in jail. But maybe it's better to fucking do that and actually stand up for what you believe in than to fucking just go along. And then it's maybe the message to all the fucking police officers doing this fucking dirty work and arresting the people they're supposed to fucking help and uphold the law and serve and protect. We all know that cops are more there for fucking institutions and businesses and to protect that shit. That's what they were founded initially. I think it's in Boston, the first police department. And it was built as like a security for the businesses, so people off the streets and just come in and rob the motherfuckers. And then we have this whole serve and protect. If you're in trouble, your taxes go to the cops. So yeah, they'll give you a bit protection, but they pay us better. So if it comes down to it, they get better. They get the better deal. Point is, it's like if I was one of you guys, I'd say this is fucking wrong. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like that one clip, the one cop's giving him a warning, but then that other cop comes up like, look at this, like fuck this, but it's basically like, no, you're getting arrested. It's like, you said if I went over there one more time, I'd get arrested. He was giving me a warning, and then now you're just going to arrest me? Like, what the fuck is that? This is people that shouldn't probably be cops. Or maybe he's like actually a good cop. Maybe he's a good father. Maybe everything's good. But you get in that mob mentality. Your job is to fucking make sure Trudeau gets his fucking country back. Your job is to make sure all these fucks get the fuck out of there, and you get carried away. You start looking at people like they're not people. You start looking at people like they're all fucking criminals. They're all criminals. They're not supposed to be here. It's like, well, they got there when they had rights. They were protected by their rights when they arrived there. Their rights were taken from them while they were there. And so now they became criminals. Just by the Prime Minister being able to just take their fucking rights away. And that's why I want to show the House of Commons things, because it shows the Conservatives are kind of asking, like, what pretenses and which reasons did you declare the state of emergency? How did you just do it without bringing it by us first and seeing what the fuck is up? Are we supposed to vote in this shit? But he didn't do that. He just declared a state of emergency, unrolled the fucking cops, and let's get these fuckers out of here. Arresting 100 fucking people, beating people up, fucking killing fucking animals, taking their bank accounts, taking their license. Like, what the fuck? So anyways, this is the last clip I'm going to play. This is just to get the awareness out there. I'm not going to fucking speculate anymore. It breaks my fucking heart to see what's going on in the capital of my country. And this is my own province. I'm literally an hour, 15 minutes away. I used to work in Ottawa. I worked for Ottawa Siding, and I was in Ottawa every fucking day. Up until like 5 months ago, I was in Ottawa every single fucking day. I used to live in Ottawa. Like, this is fucking terrible. I used to actually live right off of Rideau Street. I was way at the end, but I had to walk to the Rideau Mall every day. Me and my wife just stayed in Chateau Laurier, where the girl who got trampled over, it's literally right in front of Chateau Laurier, where I just was. When did we go there? December. We went shopping in Ottawa. We stayed in Chateau Laurier. Beautiful fucking hotel. You know, it's just crazy. It's too much. I don't know how we have to support this. I don't know how we have to change this. I don't know how we have to make fucking Trudeau realize he's fucking making a huge mistake and this is fucking wrong. But something has to be done. And I'm going to be brainstorming and making candles to figure this fucking shit out. So anyways, I'll play that fucking House of Commons shit where he's calling these people fucking, he's calling Jewish people fucking Nazis. That's kind of how they take it. I'm not saying that's what he did, but, and it shows that, you know, he just left. And then he literally closes the House of Commons at that point. No more. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Fuck it. I don't want to deal with Canadians. I don't want to deal with the law. I don't have to pass bills. I don't have to fucking do any of this shit. I'm just going to be prime minister. I'm just going to be the fucking emperor of this whole bitch and do whatever the fuck I want and fuck anybody else who gets in my way. It's Canada, baby. Fucking terrible. Anyways. I don't even know what else to say to that. Like, it's literally terrible. It's fucking terrible. I'm still proud to be a Canadian. I'm still proud of those people who despite their bank accounts and their windows getting and people getting arrested, they still stood there and believed in what they were fucking doing. And, you know, God, I'd say God bless them, but God's bless them. And thank God that, you know, they're still doing it, but soon they're going to run out. And I guess that's the rest of us in this country. We're going to have to fucking go there and get arrested too. What's he going to do? Shoot every fucking citizen in jail? Okay, Trudeau, fuck it. You want your street back open? Fine. We all fucking quit our jobs. We take all our kids out of fucking schools. Fuck you and your fucking taxes. We'll all fucking pilgrim to fucking Ottawa right now. You'll have to arrest the whole fucking country. Is that what you fucking want? Maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe there's not enough fucking people there. Maybe a little sacrifice has to be done. Obviously, women and children stay home, but all us men, maybe we need to fucking do that. I don't fucking know. But let's fucking try to figure this shit out. This is fucking terrible.
If Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. Those are the words of the Prime Minister in 2015. These people, very often misogynistic, racist, women haters, science deniers, the fringe. Same Prime Minister 6 years later as he fans the flames of an unjustified national emergency. So, Mr. Speaker, when did the Prime Minister lose his way? When did it happen?
You're right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas. They can stand with people who wave the Confederate flag. We will choose to stand with Canadians who deserve to be able to get to their jobs, who be able to get their lives back. These illegal protests need to stop, and they will, Mr. Speaker.
Unbecoming as a Prime Minister. It's been 48 hours that the government went from doing nothing to a national emergency. 48 hours into using the measures. 48 hours without providing Parliament with a justification. So my question is simple. When will the Prime Minister admit that he's lost control of the situation, that he's lost control of his country, that he's lost control of his caucus, and that he's lost control of his leadership?
Mr. Speaker, I've never seen such shameful and dishonourable remarks coming from this Prime Minister. My great-grandfather flew over 30 missions over Nazi Germany. My great-great-uncle's body lies at the bottom of the English Channel. There are members of this Conservative caucus who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. For the Prime Minister to accuse any colleague in this House of standing with the swastika is shameful. I'm giving the Prime Minister an opportunity. I'm calling on him to unreservedly apologize for this shameful remark.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians deserve their freedoms back. Mr. Speaker, these illegal blockades that have continued to interfere with people's livelihoods, to interfere with people's daily lives,
I have to interrupt the Honourable Prime Minister, so ask everyone to calm down so we can hear the answer. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the measures put forward in this Emergencies Act are proportional, are responsible, and quite frankly, are completely folded within the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The steps that we are taking are important and measured to restore order and freedoms to Canadians in this country. That is exactly what we are doing.
Well, member for Sturgeon River Parkland.
Mr. Speaker, the lack of an apology from that Prime Minister speaks volumes. I have given this Prime Minister an opportunity to retract a shameful remark where he would accuse any honourable member of this House to stand with a swastika. As I said before, we have colleagues who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. I'm giving the Prime Minister one more chance. Will he apologize to all members of this House?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, even as the members of the Conservative Party are calling to us to take more action over the past 2 weeks on this, they continued to stand with and encourage these illegal blockades. Mr. Speaker, Canadians are watching carefully and see exactly where the Conservative politicians who've stood with those blockades are standing. We will stand on the side of Canadians who deserve their lives back, who deserve their livelihoods back.
Member for Sturgeon River Parkland.
My apologies, Mr. Speaker. I didn't write these out. But the fact is, I don't know how any member of the government caucus can stand by this Prime Minister when he accuses honourable members of this House of standing with a swastika. I'm calling on all members of the Liberal caucus to denounce the Prime Minister. I have given him 2 chances to apologize. He has refused to apologize. Mr. Prime Minister, apologize.
Now we have a point of order. The Honourable Member for Thornhill.
Mr. Speaker, I am a strong Jewish woman and a member of this House and a descendant of Holocaust survivors, and I have never it's never been singled out, and I have never been made to feel less, except for today when the Prime Minister accused me of standing with swastikas. I think he owes me an apology. I'd like an apology, and I think he owes an apology to all members of this House.
Order. I want to encourage all members to be as judicious as possible when using words in this chamber. I want to encourage all members